listening to You're Welcome Hollywood, a podcast where Ed, Tom, and Ruben create a brand new screenplay every episode. Some of the ideas are better than others.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to You're Welcome Hollywood with Ed, Tom,
and Ruben.
And Mark. Yay! Mark Kendall's here.
What a delight. What a treat to have someone of your caliber on our show. Finally,
oh, man,
Mark.
it means so much.
Like a 45 of comedy.
Like a 45 of common?
Of comedy.
Yeah, like a fat
Like a bullet. Like it was on your
Oh, I
caliber
see.
joke, Tom.
Yeah.
I see caliber.
Yeah.
It's hard to make those
Cool.
jokes in this climate.
Yeah, people can't even imagine what bullets are.
Dirty fucking liberals. Can't even make a caliber
You
joke.
try to make a bullet joke and they're like, no.
Sorry, I've already erased that in my head.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
gone.
Bullets don't exist in my reality
Oh
anymore.
man, erasure. You're
Between these
you're like,
ears, there are no bullets.
I wanna be with you.
Live with you and live in harmony.
Wow, what start to the episode.
Very cool.
Well, we do have the silent juggernaut of comedy, Mark Kendall.
Hello. It's great to see you. Great to
here
see
on the podcast.
Oh,
Mark
really?
is a longtime friend of Ed, Tom, and Ruben.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big fan.
You're on an episode. You're on the last released episode of Brown Baggin'.
Oh, I didn't know that was Yeah. the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We were
Our
like,
failed video podcast.
It broke
Way
them
back
all.
in the day.
it just went to sleep.
Never woke up.
Ate a bunch of lunches and went to sleep.
I really like Brown Baggin'.
Me too.
Took it to a farm upstate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it.
fine.
And that's where it is now.
That's where it lives now.
Yeah. Just
This is
roaming
your
around with other podcasts.
This
Yeah.
is your new EdTom&Rueben content, isn't it? Almost the same.
Yeah.
This one has already lived longer.
Yes. Love us.
Yeah, no, I
Please.
like that one. I made chicken pesto pasta.
Oh, yeah. It was
That
delicious.
was good. I like that.
And I had a feeling you were going to come with it because
Yeah.
you're no stranger to the kitchen.
Yeah, no, I like cooking stuff. I'm not like complicated with it. Like there are people that are like, oh, I put a dash of this and like a little bit of that. I like just putting a bunch of stuff together.
Yeah. You're like, I did a dash of only this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My spice rack, like he's got all those bottles in the spice rack and just poured them all into one bowl, mixed them up, and that's in a salt shaker.
They all are Mrs. Dash flavors though.
Yeah, it
Every
was
single
just
one.
30 Mrs. Dashes
Yeah, just all different Mrs. Dashes.
and a little bit
Stacey
of
Dash.
baking soda.
Yeah. Stacey Dash.
Stacey
That's Mrs. Dash to Stacey Dash?
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
No. I thought Controversial.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, who is Mrs. Dash?
Yeah.
The conspiracy revealed.
The third client.
Is it this secret conservative?
Mrs. Dash.
So, Mark, I know that you Yeah. bake cupcakes. I've seen you do that many a time, and they're Yeah. quite good. Oh, thanks. Do you have, so that's baking. Is there a thing that you cook that you like to cook? That's sort of your cooking equivalent?
Well, like the chicken pesto pasta thing that I made, I like a lot because I like
was dope.
pesto. I
Oh,
like
pesto's so
chicken.
good.
You know what I'm saying? I love it a lot.
Everybody loves pesto.
Everyone loves
Yeah.
pesto. Like something from time to time, I like to make like a little salmon. Make a little bit of salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon, yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
prepare that?
Well, that's the thing that I kind of like about it is you don't have to do much to it.
No.
You just put like some salt and pepper on it. And then
Oh my
You
God.
got some salmon. You know?
Yeah.
Do you usually like put it in the oven? Is it on the?
No, like on
fry
like a pan.
Doing
Oh, okay, that's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
grilled
Nice.
salmon.
Yeah.
Skin on?
Yeah. But then like I take it off.
Do you
Does that
start
make
with the
sense?
Do you start with the
Yeah.
whole
You
fish?
cook it with the skin.
No. I'll get like a piece of like the.
Will you
fillet.
catch it? Will you catch the salmon?
You don't want to look
Oh,
in the
no,
eye.
man, I've never caught a fish successfully. Say what?
You don't want to look in the eye before you eat it.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't even know what to do with a whole fish. I saw someone like clean a fish once, and I'm like, I can't do that.
But
have
you got
you-
like a cartoon fishbone skeleton.
You said you've never caught a fish successfully. Have you caught one unsuccessfully? then what
Like
is
by
it?
mistake.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah,
Like it was in your truck bed, and you're like, "How did this get in here?"
yeah. No, never.
I accidentally caught this fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
No.
Oh, unsuccessful.
All my years, like fishing managed to avoid me.
Cool.
yeah.
Well,
Great
movies.
catch up.
Yeah.
We're here. This show is a comedy podcast where we improvise a screenplay of a title typically provided by listeners like you.
You hear that, iTunes?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And we let Mark choose today. Mark, what was the name of the title?
I found an amazing title. Tempered Steel.
Tempered Steel.
Tempered Steel from Mike Bauer.
Yeah,
which
thanks,
was
Mike.
nice.
Yeah.
Mike
job.
Bauer strikes again.
Good
Yeah.
job, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, when you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Hey,
man
fucking
bullshits
cool it,
movie titles.
Mike.
Back off, Bauer.
This is our show, Mike.
You think you can just come in here and take over with your title? No.
But we also desperately need your ideas.
Yeah, thank you so much for your social engagement.
It was really good.
It was a good title.
Really good.
Tempered Steel. So
Mark,
what do we want?
Yeah, what was it about it that grabbed you?
Well, when I saw it, I was just like, well, it just felt like this thing that was like hoping to get to the surface, like tempered. The whole thing about tempered, where it's just like, You know,
You felt like an angst.
yeah, an angst. That's what I was.
Huh?
saying.
Interesting.
So
Felt
that
like that.
sounds a little bit like somebody who you wouldn't expect to be like tough or I don't know, principled or something, getting to finally show their true mettle.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. And metal, the other word.
METTELE.
Yeah.
I would imagine this character's one step closer to the edge, and they're about to break.
For real.
And-
nice Linkin Park joke.
Ed, that was for you. And nobody else.
None of the listeners. Just me.
But steel also. So there's a
What about chefs
okay,
Oh,
cool.
like
With
pots
the-
and pans.
and their knives
and their knives of steel?
Right. Yeah.
The tempered steel of the blade of a well-honed
Okay,
chef's
this is
knife.
dope.
I was thinking about America's blue collar workers,
No, but you know what? They're blue collar.
as I
too.
often do.
You know, another coal mining dream.
I wake up every morning and just going, how do I help the working man?
Orvain.
Moving to West Virginia.
Just sleeping on your stomach to Upton Sinclair's The Jungle every night.
I listen to the sound of an excavator as if it's an ASMR video.
So chefs, right?
Yes. So do we want? I like this. It's got sort of like a feel of like a Ratatouille or something.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Although I've never
Where
seen
someone who
Ratatouille.
sucks at cooking.
Okay, but what if it's a robot who sucks at cooking and steel is two things?
Okay, dude.
Robot chef.
Yeah.
What if it's a regular chef who sucks who meets a robot chef and gets trained to be good by the robot?
Oh man, oh god. Okay, cool. So the working man is being replaced by robots. Robots taking their jobs, right?
Yeah.
And this is a big thing that America's worried about
Great.
right now.
Yeah.
But it's a story of understanding and coming togetherness.
It's a story of the working man finally rising up and defeating the
Great.
robots.
Okay. All right.
in the
great.
context of a French kitchen or something.
Great. This is great. So what I'm
the blue collar job of a 5-star chef. 5-star chef rather.
So it could be that yes, let's live in a world where robots have taken over. Like that's known, right? And like all these people are out of their jobs.
Just the service industry.
yeah, let's say service industry. Sure.
That's not like humans are enslaved or anything.
No. But
Are we
many-
starting too complicated?
But in a few industries, like robots have taken over.
Yeah.
And this guy who used to be a chef.
Used to be.
Okay, used to be.
Yeah, he's been replaced. But I wonder if like is I
You know what?
I
Here
feel
it
like
is.
this is turning into too much
we're
of a fight
overthinking
rather than
it.
a learning curve.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of want that the robot that has replaced him is a bit of a goof.
He's just this like bicentennial man,
Yeah, we can-
silly robot.
Let's run that angle, but let's not start in a dystopia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'm just gonna run it back because the robot thing was a goof, guys. We can go there, but let's just make it a chef thing, and we'll
Let's
find out
start
where
as
it
a
goes.
chef thing, and maybe we'll find a robot.
Maybe we'll find robots. Maybe it'll go there. Maybe it'll go somewhere different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh.
Great. I love this.
Yeah.
Guys.
Simplify it. Let's make it human for once in our lives.
All right, I'm Ed.
I'm Tom.
I'm Ruben.
I'm Mark.
This is
Tempered
Tempered
Steel.
The studio logo appears. What do we want? Let's do.
It's a girder, an I-beam.
Just an iron girder spinning on a crane over a job site.
Yes.
And it's it takes off.
You hear that
Into
song?
Like the entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
nice.
Okay.
And
yeah.
it
Yes.
curls up and blasts off into space, where it's caught by an alien and added to a skyscraper on the moon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because the alien is much bigger than everything. It's huge.
Yeah, it's just real strong.
Yeah.
And what do we call those studios?
Scott Joplin Pictures.
Scott Joplin Pictures. So we cut down to, I think, a restaurant,
Yes.
right? Like this wonderful bistro.
Dishes clanking.
Yeah, there's those like meal ticket orders like hanging on the line.
Order up, Mark. Order up, flip it.
Yeah. Oh, we got a 86. The beef. We're out of beef.
Oh, 86B.
Give me two lovers in a van.
Yeah,
park it on the hillside and slop it through the jungle.
Hey, Dakota's still smoking outside.
Get this gluten out of here.
And there's people eating, and at a table we see like a young kid with his family.
Yeah.
And they're having a nice meal.
Is this kid important?
This kid is our protagonist, I think.
Oh, freak,
this is
yeah.
this is his
Nice.
childhood experience with food that made him want to be a chef.
Will these parents die? Is this Batman?
Yeah, just like they leave the restaurant. All of a sudden, it's pearls falling on the ground. And he's like, "I have to be something."
Be a chef.
Not what I was going
Yeah,
for, but
the kid's name is Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Pack.
Wolfgang Anderson Pack.
Yeah, exactly. Related to Anderson Paak.
so Wolfgang Anderson is sitting at
Shout out to Anderson Paak. Do our opening song. What's up?
They're eating. They're having a good time.
Right, and what Wolfgang is doing is super cool. Like he's got this dish, and they're like the parents are complaining about like how bland it is.
There's not enough salty.
Yeah,
That's what his
droopy
dad
dog is
sounds
his dad.
like. I'm having a bad time.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it. It's so bland. And meanwhile, Wolfgang is like finding little elements like from his parents' plates and like some of like the salt and pepper and ketchup and mustard and all that stuff. And he's created like a new sauce.
He like puts them over a candle and lets them cook for a minute.
Yeah.
He's making a good dish out of 3 bad dishes.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's like sort of this thing that's so amazing about him is that he can turn any dish into a good dish, no
Yeah,
matter
that's
how
right.
bad.
I could take like a not so good situation and make it a good situation with my cooking.
Oh my gosh, Mark, and that becomes
and he says that.
and that is the theme of the movie.
But you know what he can't do? Make a good situation out of his parents' relationship.
Yeah, they are fighting at the
Yeah.
table.
So it's hard. I'm so good at doing this with everything else, but I can't do it with the most important thing to
his
me.
mom picks up a gravy boat and just smashes it over the dad's head.
yeah, a gravy boat at a bistro. That's right.
Well, we've already said that it's like a gluten-free bistro.
That's right. That's right.
With no beef.
Yeah. And he's like,
And they take orders in the style of a diner. So this restaurant is all
fusion
fucked up.
restaurant.
It's a bistro diner.
Yeah, fusion's hot right now.
Seafood special.
Anyway, so that's like that. That's all we see. Like
I think maybe he says to his parents, like, "Mom, Dad, look at the sauce I made," and they're just like, "No,
yeah.
you don't do that."
Yeah, you get your nose back in those math books. You're going to be a math man.
Yeah, and the camera shifts slightly to the right, and we see that he has a lot of math books at this restaurant he's brought with him.
Yes.
Or was
Forcibly.
forced to bring
Forced
with
to
him,
bring
yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
They're like, "No cooking," and they smack the sauce out of his hand, and it shatters on the ground.
Oh, my
And we
gosh.
see it rapidly cooling.
Oh my gosh.
And it looks like pearls
Yeah,
as it shatters on the ground.
yeah. All the shallots that were in it come tumbling out.
yes.
as if Martha Wayne's pearls.
Yeah, and just to really solidify this,
Definitely not Batman
The-
story.
A guy comes in and shoots both of his parents.
I was gonna say they walk outside, and both of his parents are hit by a Cisco truck delivering
beef because they're out. Let's keep 'em alive.
86 beef.
Because we do dead parents so often.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like our favorite thing.
Yeah, killing parents.
This episode, this whole series loves it. All right, yeah. So it's that, but it is like it's still them bickering in the car ride home, and it's just he's in a house that's not happy.
Right. But he's also sticking to his books, right?
Yeah.
So and it's not just math. It's because the math really what the math leads into is physics.
Yeah,
Oh.
physics and like science and chemistry, like learning how to bring things together.
That's right,
you know?
Mark.
Yeah, creating tastes.
That's right.
He's
Yeah.
kind of learning some like basically foundational things for like gastro cooking, more or less.
yeah.
And maybe his parents are like, "Well, you got to go to bed. It's school early in the morning," and they send him up with like a really nasty sandwich up to his room to eat. And he goes into his closet. He's got a spice cabinet.
Yeah, a little secret spice cabinet they don't know about.
He gets out a little thing of smoked paprika.
He takes like a book that just says number 1 math on it, and it's hollowed out and it's full of spices. It's
Yes.
a secret spice book.
Yes.
It's like a copy of like Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time, full of spices.
He's got this like Green Bay Packers because this is in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Of course it is.
But it
the
also
food capital of the Midwest.
And the book also says a brief history of time, THYME.
Oh,
Nice.
it's like when you buy like a fake can to like hold drugs in, and it looks like Miller High Life, but it's like Miller I'm really high life.
Yeah, exactly.
They change it just enough.
And the Green Bay football helmet, though, he opens it up and it's a convection oven.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's been slowly just like
His closet is a kitchen.
Small kitchen
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reaches up and pushes his clothes aside, and there's a printer spitting out tickets,
Oh, wait. No.
and one of those little spikes to put the used ones on.
But are they...
He's just playing restaurant.
Yeah, he's
got it.
There's no orders.
And
Yes.
it's his only solace from, I think, like the yelling we hear downstairs.
Right, and he's and he's like mimicking the conversations that he was hearing from the restaurant earlier. So he's like, "Gotta get no more gluten."
Yeah.
Dakota's
right.
outside smoking.
He's like, order up.
He's like, a fucking 8-top just came in before closing.
and like, what's that, Wolfgang? Nothing.
Nothing, Mom. I'm in the fucking weeds in here.
Yelling at his sous chef.
His sous chef, which is his cat,
Yeah.
whose name is Sue.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's very cute.
And yeah, and then like maybe we sort of fade out on this, and we like smash to white morning. He's like falling asleep on his books with all like the ingredients.
The oven is still on, and
Yeah.
there's a steak burning.
Yeah, maybe it's like the smoke alarm is like what wakes him up.
And in a rush, he has to like hide and pack up all these things he's left out because he was up late cooking, and they're like, "Oh, Wolfgang, there's a fire in the house. There's a fire in the house."
I've got a question. Why does he have to sneak this stuff so much?
Because his parents don't want him to cook.
But what is it? What is it specifically that they don't want him to cook?
I think that it's just like the classic, your parents think that it's a silly passion, like when you want to be a musician or something.
Yes.
And they're like, don't even bother trying because all you'll do is waste your life when you could be succeeding instead.
Yes.
I think his
Also-
parents are just like, they just think that cooking is stupid.
They're
like
also
having-
aggressively Caucasian and hate flavor.
Yeah. They do.
Is that salt I smell? Is that salt?
It better be white salt, not seasoned salt.
We have no Lowry's in here.
Is that Old Bay?
Son, I swear, if I find one more goddamn bay leaf in your drawers.
And he's always getting like for breakfast, it's like white bread and mayonnaise as his lunch sandwich.
Yeah, they are people who do not care about taste.
Right.
No.
They're watching like a Popeyes commercial on TV, and they're like, and the dad's just seething over the idea of jerk seasoning.
Close your eyes. Don't watch this.
As if there were titties on screen. He's like,
Turn away.
He turns to porn.
yeah.
He puts porn on. He's like, watch this.
Yeah, but it's missionary. It's not spicy at all. It's very boring.
He's got a special VHS tape of nothing but missionary scenes that he puts on whenever a fast food chicken commercial appears.
It's called the porn's called 15 Years Deep, and it's just like couples that have been in a relationship for a while and only do missionary anymore.
And he turns to Wolfgang and goes, "The way things should be."
And he eats like a rice cake.
Yeah.
A rice cake that he has dipped in a glass of water.
Wow. Softens it for me. Like
My chompers.
chompers.
What a
Fragile chompers.
His parents are not great.
the walls are all white.
Yeah, and so he's trying to put away all of his cooking shit. And
Yes.
I think he gets everything except for one thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? It'll be like sticking out of the closet.
Do you want to do that now, or do we want to?
Yeah,
like,
his parents come in and he's like, "Oh, hey, good morning, mother and
Yeah.
father, just putting on my backpack for school."
Great.
And they're like sniffing at the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah. Like, smells good in here. He's like, I farted.
Yeah, I have a real spicy butthole.
Must have been that bistro we went to.
Yeah, not me, not cooking. My butthole is what it is, not food. Anyway, school time.
And
Yeah, and they're like, wait a second. Is that a spatula sticking out from underneath your bed?
I see those 4
I
slides.
see those 4 slidey things. They pull it out and it's a spatula. And he's like, he starts crying. He starts bawling.
Yeah.
And he's just like, listen, Mom, Dad, I love cooking. I have to be a chef.
Yeah. And now I feel like they double down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like-
oh, yeah. They'd be absolutely. In fact, they like rip open his closet and take everything.
Oh my gosh.
The cat's like pawing at the closet, and they're like, "Huh, Sue, what do you find in there?" And they find his entire kitchen setup, and they are beside themselves, and they just tear it apart. And
They're like, no son of mine is going to be a chef.
I wish, and then he gets really upset. And he's like, "I wish someone would 86 my life." And he runs out of the room crying. 86 is restaurant speak when you're out of a thing. Yeah,
Yep.
he's
Take it off
upset.
the menu.
Yeah,
And they're like, no, we are not a spicy family.
yeah. We're not a flavor country.
We eat packaged foods only.
There's no donkey sauce in this house.
Now get back to your books. You're going to be a math man.
Maybe what if he goes to like school at this point? Because it's like he's like the
I
next
definitely
day.
think so.
So maybe he goes to school. So it's like they've had this argument. He's like, "Go get on the bus."
Uh-huh.
You know? So he gets on the bus to go to school.
Guys, are we
Like,
inadvertently
we'll talk about this when you get home.
making the origin story of Guy Fieri?
Oh no!
What have we
It
done?
might be.
Okay, so
I should have pocketed that.
so he goes to school
Yeah.
and he's in home ec class.
He's wearing his button-up shirt with flames on it. Not saying anything's going to
Right,
happen.
no.
This kid's just similar.
He's wearing his sunglasses on the back of his head.
And he just happens to have his hair like spiked.
Yeah. But that's it.
Because the moment he leaves the house, he takes his clothes out of his back. He gets real spicy the moment he leaves the house.
Yeah, he's like
basically.
Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
he's got a change of clothes in his backpack.
He leaves the house dressed in beige, and then like we see this like slow transformation as he's walking to school.
And so he's in home ec class, and the teacher's like notices that he's like throwing, he's like intentionally not doing well, and the teacher's like, Wolfgang.
He's got like a cake and he's just like pouring salt into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wolfgang, what's the matter? You're our star pupil.
Yeah, you're the best math boy we have.
In home ec class.
Like, stupid, sauce, stupid, cake, stupid. He's like crying. He's very upset.
What's that, Wolfgang?
Cake, stupid, and cook, stupid.
Wolfgang,
Use your mouth.
Wolfgang, spit out all those Tootsie Rolls.
And he actually does have a bunch of Tootsie Rolls in his
Yeah.
mouth.
He was saving them for later like a hamster. They're in his cheeks.
And he's like, sorry, I had a rough morning.
and then he goes on to explain what happened. And this teacher, by the way, is pivotal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh. This is like the Robin Williams Dead Poets Society.
That's right.
Yeah, this is Mr. Holland right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Hollandaise.
This is Mr.
Mr.
That's
Hollandaise.
his name, Mr. Hollandaise, the home ec teacher.
Mr. Hollandaise Opus. Perfect.
Mr. Hollanday's open face sandwich.
No.
Mr. Hollandaise open face sandwich.
That's what an Eggs Benedict is.
Oh man, so good. All right, so he's pivotal.
To Mr. Hollandaise.
He's in pivotal to definitely not Guy Fieri's future.
And so like he can't do anything in this moment, but he sees, or he just doesn't know what to do in this moment. That Mr. Hollandaise, and so class finishes and Wolfgang walks out of the room, but Mr. Hollandaise has something. His gears are turning in his head.
I think like the school bell. We get to like the end of the school day. School bell rings,
Are you
and
listening?
instead of walking home, Wolfgang sneaks into the cafeteria.
And he starts
Making things.
industrially making, like he's making a giant pot of spaghetti.
Yeah. And
Spaghetti.
Yeah,
no regrets, all spaghetti.
that's his motto.
He unbuttons his flame shirt and he has a T-shirt that says it under there.
It's no regrets, all spaghetti.
Look forward to Ed, Tom&Rueben merchandise. No regrets, all spaghetti.
He takes off his shirt and he has it tattooed on his chest.
Oh my God.
He's
That's
he's
very
all in.
He is all in.
And I think then
he is diner, dive and driven
nice, Tom.
by that joke I forced. I think he gets busted by like security or whatever, and he gets in like double trouble.
Okay, yeah. So the lunch lady busts it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so there's a ding dong on his parents' front door.
Oh, ding dong on the door.
Just a real ding dong at the front door.
Yeah, and then someone also rings the bell.
Yeah.
and like the lunch lady's
Got him by the scruff.
Yeah, and
he's still wearing the flame shirt.
Yeah.
and she tells him she tells the parents what happened, and now they're like, that's it. You're going to math school.
Your kid made an entire 5-gallon pot of spaghetti. That was all our pasta for the school year.
Frankly, our work is done, which is nice, but it was unauthorized.
I mean, we're just going to store it and serve it out throughout the coming months.
This actually saves us a lot of time. We're going to be able to like... AP US history's never been easier now.
but this little fuck wasn't supposed to be in there.
Yeah. Can I just say that she starts off her conversation with, I regret to spaghetti. And then she goes into it?
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Just add that little piece of
I feel like
dialogue.
that's very good
You're right.
craftsmanship.
And
So
I think
his parents do. They're like, that's it. We're taking public
Last
school
straw.
is too open to every like idea you want to have.
they're filling your mind with their liberal nonsense about cooking.
You're going to math school.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's too spicy in that other school for you.
We don't like spicy.
Yep. So he's going to Pythagoras Boys School.
For developing young number dudes.
Young number dudes.
Yeah.
Synonyms are the glue of comedy, you guys.
And so he gets like just shipped off there, huh?
Oh my
but-
God. Okay, cool.
Ruben has an idea. I can see the mischief in his
because
eyes.
just to guys get you on my train.
And it's not Guy Fieri.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not Guy Fieri. What I'm saying is that
It's probably going to be good.
we have a young boy who has a deep passion, and he's now being sent to a place where it's completely repressed in every way.
Uh-huh.
And I just fucking love this.
Okay, great.
It's great. Okay, cool. Anyway, so he's going to the school for number dudes.
You just wanted to tell us that you're like very emotionally attached to this story.
Because immediately in my brain I was like, this isn't, but it's like almost like a queer story as like a queer person. So I was like,
he's got to come out as a chef.
yeah, he has
to his parents.
to me like this is he has to come out as like he's being repressed.
He's Spice Gay.
Yeah, he's Spice Gay. He's Gay Spice from the Spice Girls.
The lesser known.
Yeah, or Queer Spice.
Oh, yeah.
Or Allspice, frankly. If he's pansexual, he's Allspice.
Yeah.
Allspice, which is a delightful spice.
Oh, it's great.
Great in a nice Christmas beverage.
But I think we see him having to like conform and like tamp everything down. And he's in this school for all boys,
So
having to do numbers all day.
He's working away in the numbers school, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is there a culinary academy next door?
Oh, there is.
Yeah, and it's called culinary school.
Yeah.
Inary.
Yeah. Culinary school. And like, each one has the cool capitalized.
Culinary schoolinary.
Yeah.
So after, weeks and weeks of trying to do the math thing, and he's just every night he looks out from his bunk
and he hears like opera singers like of the Italian cooks.
Oh, yeah.
In there.
and then just a mariachi band,
Every ethnicity food.
sitar music for all the Indian chefs.
And I think,
America's just AC/DC's Highway to Hell.
he's
like, what is that?
He's working on this he's on like the blackboard, and he's working on this amazing life-changing theorem. But then a smell walks through the window, and like Pepe Le Pew style, it like grabs his nose, basically.
Right.
Like, grabs his attention. He finds himself drawn.
Yeah, and he just kind of like almost sort of like floats Pepe Le Pew style, like
Yeah.
following the nose, and he goes through the hallways of the math school. He goes like across campus, and he keeps following it,
It's like a Family Circus comic.
and it opens up into this huge like dining kitchen hall.
Oh, and he's like, he almost doesn't know how he got there. It was just, it was instinctive. And he looks around and just sees all this food and all these people running around with plates and trying each other's dishes.
Oh, it's great. They're running around him like he's not even there, like, but he is there obviously. But he's just so enamored by the commotion of it all.
Yeah.
And I think like he looks like lost, and it's almost too much. And then he runs into he's lured. The smell that caught him at first was cumin, and he finds himself drawn to this Indian boy.
This
who's
little Indian boy who's at a table like stirring something. He sits down. And he's like, "What is this place?"
Yeah. Where I just sort of wandered over here. He's like, "Oh, you must be a new kid. You must be a transfer student. I'll show you around."
And what is this new best friend's name?
Raj.
Raj.
Probably. Statistically, it's Raj Patel.
True. But yes, it's Raj. And like suddenly, like he knows like he shouldn't be here. Everything's verboten, but it's this like new wonderful world of like so much more than the small spice book he had in his room.
Right. He almost like
My tiny book of spices.
he almost tries to explain who he is, but like there's so much going on that like it's acceptable why he doesn't admit what's his motive is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
he's-
in fact he wants to kind of like keep a low profile because he doesn't want to be like maybe outed just yet.
Totally.
So they're just like, "What's your name?" He's like, I'm just some guy.
Just some guy.
Some guy.
Just some guy.
This is when you go to your first gay bar and you're just like, "This is hilarious."
I totally, it's like I'm just some guy, and he says it to camera.
Yeah.
It's
Looks
very,
directly down the barrel.
Oh.
yeah. Tom's on the train now. Tom thought we
Wow.
forgot. And I
we
think
never forget.
And I think there is a moment where he does try to like we have this cute game of like, I'm from the math, and he's gonna say math school, and the guy's like, "Oh, Masago, fish egg, absolutely, yeah, we have that." And he keeps saying like other things. We'll follow that joke for a minute.
And he's trying new spices that he's never tried before.
Yes.
He's just picking up handfuls of garam masala.
Yeah. What's the one that starts with the T?
Turmeric?
Yes.
Yes.
Just thread after thread of fresh saffron.
Oh, we have a comedy moment where he thinks a beef bouillon cube is a candy and eats it. And then he's just like, no, friend.
And he just vomits beef juice everywhere.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But he loves it.
Yeah, he's like he's having fun, like making lemongrass into little antennae on his head. Like it's just very fun and playful.
And he's tasting. He's just tasting foods as he goes by.
Yes.
He takes a big bite of a cheeseburger and then like goes over and gets a spoonful of sag paneer.
And he asks Raj, he's like, what is this place? He goes, well, it's the culinary, but here we call it Flavor Town.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, cool. So
I'm so glad this is a Sly Guy Fieri origin.
no, it's not. I'm still not getting anything. But they take him out back, and they continue walking, and like out back, there's the school mascot, which is of course is the donkey.
And he's this is Sauce the donkey.
And we just see a guy like nod his head, just like,
Oh no. He's
Not
still
Guy.
not Guy.
No, it's
Wolfgang.
Still Wolfgang.
We see Wolfgang just look at the donkey, just nod his head like, this will be important later.
Yeah, he goes boom.
Yeah, but he mouths it.
Yeah.
Just
It's like this is the funky butt loving of this movie.
yeah, yes. Rookie of the Year's funky butt loving moment
Oh my god.
where he gets it.
Okay, cool. So I feel like
Yummy.
I feel like this is like the pinnacle of
This is where he's gonna decide to like cast off math, and I mean we're getting to basically like fun and games, right? Like we're gonna teach him how to cook.
But I think he's like he's having to split two lives here a little bit, where he's like doing his normal day stuff at the math school because he has to keep up appearances. His parents know he's there, but then he's like sneaking out to cook with Raj, and it's so illicit.
Right. So yeah, you see him. I think it's probably sort of montagey, right?
Yes.
Like most of our movies around this time, just for time's sake. We see him like he's doing math during the day. At night, he's like climbing over the fence and going back to cook with Raj, and they're like making gumbo.
Yeah, they've got a pestle and
Mortar. Yep.
Mortar and pestle.
Yeah, and he's
grinding
like,
herbs.
and the things start to converge a little bit. Like he's drawing string theory, but it turns into a plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Nice. And he gets back to the math school and he's about to go off to class, but he realizes he has like a smudge of barbecue sauce at his collar. And
Who is she?
He's got to like get it off before he goes to class.
And I think like it's funny. He's like he's marrying these two worlds some. So like you talked about like the string theory that kind of turns spaghetti. His professors are not like they're like, well, he seems like he's been sort of not concentrating, but this theorem is amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like this.
And at the same time, we're seeing when he's cooking with Raj, he's like teaching Raj some math to help him with recipes and
he's
stuff.
doing like the weird like kind of gastro stuff, like where he has like tinctures and like it looks basically like a lab setup that he brings.
They make breathable tikka masala chicken.
Oh yeah, and it's nitroglycerin cooled.
Yeah, so that you just put the chicken in your mouth and it evaporates. And so tomatoey.
Yeah, so good.
So we get to, they're just working toward this thing. And I think eventually now is where he should get found out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so how he gets found out is it's parent visit day.
Yeah, the old PVD.
Yep.
It's PVD here at the math school.
And at the math
for
school,
all
it's
you number boys.
It's like
Oh, you number dudes out there?
at the math school, it's like
DJ is doing this over the intercom.
DJ number dude.
Yo, it's PVD day.
Yeah, he's like in this DJ booth, and it's just like pi being calculated in the background.
He's like, did you know that records are circles?
and so I think his parents come in and
They're like, well, we hear you've been getting good grades.
Your professors say you're doing work that they've never seen before.
It's very good.
So you might be the next Stephen Hawking.
You know, him.
You
The guy
know,
whose book you used to hide your stupid spices in.
A Brief History of Time.
Remember that pun?
I'm just glad that you've changed for the better and understood that that our family is about rigor and structure.
Not some fanciful flight of flavor.
And so now that you know who you really are, we're on good terms again.
Yeah, you can come back home if you want to when the semester's done. Well, your rooms, we left it the same, just a bed.
And some carpeting
Yeah, there's a protractor
on
waiting
the
for
desk.
You. Yes.
Wouldn't want you to stop your work.
Hey, what's been going on?
So wait, are they?
So I think a great way to have him get busted would be if Raj shows up.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
think too.
And I think Raj, because like he hasn't really like he's maybe opened up to Raj to be
Okay.
like, I'm a math boy, and Raj is like, what? Like this is a scene a little bit earlier before this PVD where
It's
like
just that I'm a math boy
And
from
the-
the number school.
he's like, but you're not a math boy. You're from Flavortown.
Yeah, no, I'm integers and digits.
Yeah.
Look, I love Flavortown. It's great here. But I belong in the numbers world.
And Roger's just like, you got to stop giving into fear. You got to stop giving into fear. He's like, all right, but I can't right now.
When
And
you were
that's
making guacamole yesterday, and you were crushing that avocado,
Yeah.
that was skill. You were crushing that avocado like you should crush your fears right now.
you should crush your fears right now.
Like
but
an
it's
avocado.
like an avocado.
An avocado.
But it's like he can't do it. And that kind of is like sort of like a little risk.
So actually they sort of left each other on like sad terms
Yeah.
right before we get to this scene.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
mom and dad are there, but I think Raj comes by to like
I've got it. I think I've got it here.
Okay.
Get it,
yeah.
Tom.
So I think his parents are like, well, I know we said like after the semester, but I think it should be more immediate. They're like,
Oh, cool.
You've pleased us, so we're ready to take you home.
Everything's perfect and nothing can go wrong now.
Yes.
Come home with us.
Come home with us. We'll take you home tonight. And so
and he looks out the window and sees Raj looking at him from over in the Flavortown court yard.
And so as
courthouse.
they're like packing his stuff up and like they're getting ready to go and they're like, okay, Wolfgang, and then they can't find him and
He's
then
gone.
Yeah.
And you see him you smash cut to him running toward Flavortown.
Yes.
No, it's beautiful. And like Raj is running. So like the have we established what's between the two schools? Is it like a green space or?
I think it's just a road or a green space or whatever. It's open.
Sure, it's
But
like this open.
there's
It's whatever. You know?
there's like a hopscotch course.
Yeah,
that
and he stops real quick to do it.
you have to respect
You have
it.
to respect it. That's where they bury soldiers. You have to respect it and do hopscotch.
So he does a quick hopscotch. He's running. Does stops at a shuffleboard court. Pushes a few discs.
It's like gotta pay your respects. And so Raj is running from the opposite direction, and they meet up in the middle of this green space. And I think like his parents, they kind of see
They
him
hop
run
to each other
Yeah, they hop to each other
in the middle of the hopscotch thing.
Yes, and it's like I can't. You're right.
They want to take me home. I don't want to do it.
I'm a math boy, but I also want to live in Flavortown. And Raj is like, that's fine.
He's like, both can exist.
Yeah, there's a place in between. Literally, where we're standing right now. And the parents come out, and we see like everybody from Math Town is with the parents behind them, and then everyone comes out of Flavortown, of the
Gangs of New York
culinary.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, and there's this big like standoff of like all the math people grumbling at the culinary
They've all
people.
got axes and baseball bats.
Yeah, exactly, and chains and
And
whips.
Wolfgang's dad is wearing a top hat and has a big mustache.
That's absolutely gangs of New York.
And Cameron Diaz is there.
and
Just
I
like
think we
chilling.
ha-
She's there and she's badly Irish. Yeah.
And I think we have all of this like sort of prejudice being yelled back and forth between the two groups and assumptions being made.
Oh
They
wow.
have slurs for each other.
Yeah. Hey, isosceles,
nice shirt.
dick.
Saucily dick.
We don't have any good bad names for the food people.
Yeah, I don't. What's a?
It's hard to insult them.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like real racism. All the slur throwing is pretty one-sided.
Yeah, the Flavortown is just kind of like.
Yeah, they're like, whatever pizza face.
They're like, we just want to live in harmony.
Yeah.
And I think Raj and Wolfgang know exactly what they have to do, and they get a bunch of Wolfgang brings back into like the math-atorium and grabs all of this like math gear and like lab stuff, And Raj runs back into Flavor Town and grabs all these ingredients, and they start cooking using both.
Oh man.
Snap.
And they're making this basically meal right in the middle of everything, all of this hate.
Okay, I feel like this is early, so can I just take that back a little
Yes.
Well,
bit?
we
yeah.
want this can be our false victory, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, either one.
And
Yeah.
then the parents, the mom and the dad, are like, you know what? We were wrong. They take one bite, they both die.
Yeah.
He kills his parents.
Oh my God, it's too much
It's
for
just
them.
too much. And it
Oh
kills
my
them.
God, yes.
Yeah.
And is it that his cooking is wrong? Like he messed up a number and accidentally made it poisonous, or is it just that his dad eats it and is like salt and dies? I like that he missed a number.
Yeah, he missed a calculation. He was too sure of himself.
Yeah, we have this great moment where he's like, "No, look, Mom and Dad, see, like this can coexist. I can be who
And
I
it
am."
looks amazing, and it's like,
And
and
they're
also,
like-
and the presentation of it too is like very uniform and like, you know, like very like geometric. So they're into it.
They have that moment where they're like, "You know what, son? We understand."
We understand
Good.
now.
And they take a bite. Sorry, had a burp. Mm-hmm. They take a bite, and it's like when they open the Ark of the Covenant.
Their faces melt off.
And then we
Just bones.
and then we cut to like gravestones that say Felix Pack and then Ariana Pop.
That's their name.
Felix and Ariana are the two
Yeah.
names. And it's a funeral, and like
It's raining.
It's raining. Raj is trying to console our protagonist, but he's just like,
Yeah.
just get away from me, Raj.
Yeah, Wolfgang. Yeah, and Wolfgang wants nothing to do
I
with
should
it.
never listen to you, Raj.
Yeah.
I flavor blasted them out of existence.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And, yeah, and
And Roger's like, they're in the ultimate flavor town now. And he's like, shut up.
And he's like, I don't believe the same as you. I don't believe in a flavor town after life.
I'm going back to math. All right. I can't cook anymore. That's what killed my parents.
And I'm going to be such a good mathematician, I'll never make a mistake again.
I'll never miss another number.
I'll never miss another number.
This is for you, Felix and Ariana.
okay, great. So I feel like we're at the beginning of the Dark Knight of Soul.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I feel like it should only get worse. So I think Raj is like, no, I thought we were friends and we could like hang out. And he's like, we were never friends. We were learning from each other. That's it.
I was using you.
Yeah, I was using you.
And I got what I needed.
yeah.
And then it killed my parents.
Yeah.
So I'm out of here.
Yeah, and that's partially because of you. You're part of the reason why my parents are dead.
You taught me to make too much flavor happen.
Yeah, you and your ethnic spices.
yeah.
Yeah, and
You made me an orphan.
and he throws a handful of chili powder in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Which Raj is like cool with. It does not
Yeah,
really
I'm
affect
used to
him.
this.
and he goes home and he runs upstairs and he like slams his door and he hears like a and it was Sue and he killed
Oh, what?
yeah
He crushed
it
Sue.
only gets worse
And then in the background, a plane crashes.
yeah
And then like the TV's on the background. It's like the stock market is not
really
great.
not doing good.
yeah
Ever since that kid's parents died.
yeah I mean we're not saying they're related but
I mean, they happen
on.
on the,
Yeah.
happen
Interesting
on the same
timing.
day.
Yeah.
all I'm saying is the timing is interesting that's all I'm saying
Yeah. Felix and Ariana had a really big impact on
Yeah,
this.
they had a lot of money tied up in the stocks because
Yeah.
they're very responsible.
Yeah.
yep and so then you have
He's just sitting up in his room looking at his math books.
Yeah.
And as he's flipping through his math books, it's like, Quantum Mechanics Volume 1, Triangles and You, the untold story of 90 Degrees. And then he finds his brief history of time.
oh nice
Yeah.
and
Oh.
as he finds that there's a ding dong on the door.
Another ding dong.
Yeah. And
rings the doorbell.
And also somebody rings the doorbell. And he opens it and it's Mr. Hollandaise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was going to be important.
That's right. And he is important,
He's
Ruben.
about to be important.
Oh, that's right.
And he's and he's like,
Sorry about your folks.
yeah.
Yeah. Heard you,
Sorry you murdered your parents.
I read about it in the papers. It's a shame. The headlines all flavor blasted all over every headline. I think they'd have a better term for it, but it's the first time it's happened to anybody. So
And it's
I did
such
think
a-
it was funny that it said you sent them to their gravy.
That was a pretty good. That was a pretty good like paper joke.
That was a good slam.
I gotta admit, it helped me get through it, kind of.
I'm in a dark place, and that was one thing that did make me kind of smile.
Because the reason I was so emotionally affected by the loss is because Felix was my brother. Yeah, they never told you about me because they were ashamed of me
Because I'm a home ec teacher.
Yeah.
because I'm a home ec teacher and love cooking.
Your dirty egg cracking uncle.
That's what they called me.
Uncle Egg Crack.
They called me an egg cracker.
These slurs are out of hand.
It's legitimately like the best slur I've heard in terms of any cooking people. And he's like, he's like, so now, I'm your legal guardian.
You're mine now.
Yeah, so-
I'm your Alfred.
Yeah.
I know it's tough, and it might be soon. But if you want to cook again, and he's like, I never want to cook again. And slams the door on him.
And then maybe
Mr.
he's
Hollandaise is like, they gave me a key.
Yeah.
and maybe he's like, fine. Oh, sorry, you.
No, I was just gonna say he grabs the 2 ding dongs that were on the door that have not been retrieved yet,
Yeah.
and he hands one to Wolfgang.
Yeah.
And he's like, what does this have to do with anything? And he goes, when the time is right, you'll understand.
And he just regards it and then brings it up to his room and like puts it on his desk.
Yeah, it's just a little suction cup dildar sitting there.
I do want a moment though of him like doing that, and then he gets like so angry at the whole ordeal, and he takes all of the spices from his book, his Brief History of Time, and he smashes them.
Oh wow!
Like he just kind of like goes on a rampage in his room and destroys all of his old spices.
Then, Mr. Hollandaise walks in. He's like, listen, I know that things are tough and you don't want to cook right now, but hey, I got this math problem I want you to solve.
Oh
And
my God.
He puts like this huge math problem like on the board, and he's just like, figure that out for me, and then he leaves.
Oh my God!
He's like, you figure this out, I'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Great. And can I just say, the ding dongs were not dildos. They were like the
Yeah,
ding
dongs like
the-
Debbie cakes.
Yeah.
I was thinking dildos.
This episode will not be gross.
No.
We said
You
it.
meant you meant the little snack
Like
cake.
a little Debbie.
All right, so rewind. He doesn't pull a dick off the door. He's got a snack cake.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Just want to
So much funnier.
It was like these suction cup dildos they kept attaching to the door.
Yeah. Ed was like, hell yeah.
I feel like we've broken Ed's world here.
No, I'm on board with that. I just was very confused.
It's like
It shows when I hear the word ding dong, that's all I can think of.
So again, much like that, the near the beginning of the film, he goes to sleep like crying, smashed to white. He wakes up, and that equation hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And he decides like
It'd be
okay,
weird if it did.
right? It would be strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but also like emotionally, you know what I mean? It's still present for him.
Yes.
Ruben.
Yeah. I get it. That makes sense.
There's an emotional weight to it.
And so he slowly, starts working.
He beautiful minds it. Like we see him just sitting up in his room for days and days on end. Day becomes night, becomes day, becomes night.
And
Becomes day.
I think he kind of
And he's
fights
just
it.
going insane.
Before he goes insane, I think he kind of like, I just want to have a moment of him just being like, like he keeps walking by it and seeing it,
Yeah.
and kind of trying to ignore it, and then he's like, well, there's this small part of it, and he beep, 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 like draws on the board and then puts it down, and he's just like, and then he gets stuck in that thing where then he starts beautiful minding it.
Yeah, and he goes like crazy. He goes like crazy. He goes like crazy. And eventually he stops and steps back.
Oh my God.
And he sees it. He's like, oh my God. It's not a math problem.
No, it's not.
It's a recipe.
Yes.
for donkey sauce. Yes. Oh my God! I looked over at Ed and his eyes went crazy. I'm like, I've got a thing too. Thank God.
That's exactly the same.
Yeah, because donkey sauce has never been invented. No. It's too complex.
Yeah. And then Mr. Hollandaise walks in and he's just like, Wolfgang, are you all right? And he's like, don't call me Wolfgang. My name's Guy Fieri. It's like, Fieri, where did that come from?
Yeah.
He's like, I just realized I want to be a chef, and Wolfgang Pack is way too similar to an existing one.
It would be confusing for everyone.
Yeah.
He's like, call me Guy And then there's like a lightning strike.
And I think like Hollandaise, Mr. Hollandaise goes, I've got something in the car I want you to see. I've been holding on to it for you to this very day.
Okay.
And he opens up the trunk and
Is
there's
it
like
Raj? I'm just joking.
it's Rob. It's like a suit bag, and he unzips it, and inside is a flame shirt
Oh my God, a bowling shirt with flames on it.
and jean shorts
Yeah.
and a pair of glasses,
But
only to be worn
Ruben,
backwards.
use the correct technical term, jorts.
Sorry. He says, "Here are your jean shorts," and he goes, "No, they're called jorts."
Yeah.
And he's like, that was a test.
And they're all flame retardant because, like, why just give him an outfit? Make it really useful.
So I think, and he gives him, like a set of knives and everything a chef needs. And so we've got to have him redeem himself in some way. So maybe there is a competition or something.
Yes, he goes to show up at
And he can-
Flavortown, and there's a competition cooking, like a cooking competition.
It's like the end of semester cooking competition, and everyone's turning in their final projects.
and Raj is kicking ass.
yeah, and he shows up and he's just like, I'd like to enter.
Would you take a late entrant?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you're not a student.
He's like, no, I'm a student of the world.
And they
They're
go,
like, God damn, you're cool.
He's right.
They're like, let him cook.
and I think like, does Raj know it's him?
Not yet, no,
Yes,
because he was
okay.
never wearing the flame shirt when they met.
Yeah.
Right,
So he just looks different. I'm gonna the blonde tips. I'm holding on to that for a second.
Okay,
Because there's a
cool.
thing that's gonna happen here.
Okay.
And they start this cook off.
Uh-huh.
And it's like fast and furious and it's
Yeah.
intense.
And he's
fucking
still using
crazy.
his lab equipment. Like he's basically setting himself up with the same setup that accidentally killed his parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just so he can have like that push-pull of emotion.
Oh, but we definitely see like when he's going over the numbers, we make a huge point of like he like very distinctly writes a 2. It's just like that's it.
That's the one. The secret to donkey sauce was 2.
Or whatever it is, right?
Yes, it's 2.
And he's cooking and cooking and cooking. And does he make the donkey sauce that he just got? the formula
yeah,
for?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like so he presents this meal and I think the donkey sauce is on the side.
Oh yeah.
So what is this what is this complete just like aberration he makes?
Yeah. He makes something shitty with donkey sauce on the side.
Yeah, it is like some
yeah. Okay.
It's a bacon wrapped,
Yeah.
lime crusted
Wolf meat.
wolf popper. It's a bacon encrusted lime wolf popper.
lime enema wolf pop.
Wolf popper.
with a fried onion ring bun
Served with a fresca.
with a side of donkey sauce.
Yeah. And maybe the judges come over and or Raj comes over.
Yeah, I think Raj has to go first here too. Like, and Raj presents this like really just fucking banging like tikka that he's
Oh
made.
man, that British cuisine.
It's so fucking, but it's like a real like he's like it's really flavorful.
Yeah.
He's taking ownership over the
Yeah, he's
colonists.
like, we're taking
Yes.
it back.
yeah, exactly.
This is mine now.
Yeah.
And the judges they taste his and they're just like, this is remarkable.
it's exquisite.
exquisite. It's
It's so
perfect.
good. They're even like about to like, oh, man, here's the blue ribbon. We want to put it on right now. Well, I guess we got to taste everybody else's.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wait,
just,
I guess
yeah.
it's just the red tape.
It's red tape. Sorry,
we
Raj.
gotta do this.
You hang around, Raj. Got enough time.
We love you, Raj.
We love you, Raj.
And I think like an important part
Go,
of this too
go
is,
stand on
like-
the number 1 spot on the podium.
you just save us all some time. Save us all some time, Raj.
And I think an important part of like the judging of Raj's dish is that it's like so classically a perfect tikka masala in every way.
They're doing that like that sort of cooking show thing where it's like you chose to make the most basic, completely like everyone has done this
Unimaginable.
dish. Unimaginably like why would you not take any risks? But you executed it perfect.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't know, someone that I met seemed really bland, but I found you can find really interesting, spicy things in the blandest of places.
Yes.
And it's like a secret homage to
And you
his
see a
friendship.
single tear fall out from underneath the
yeah.
sunglasses.
I wish I knew where that friend was right now.
Yeah, because I would tell that friend that he's the one that taught me to go back to my roots.
Yeah.
But I don't see his classic beige jacket anywhere.
Yeah. And his beige khaki shorts. He looked like a little safari man all the time.
Khaki shorts, or as I call them,
Courts.
KHORTS.
Hearts. And it's like, well, you understand. We have to go.
Yeah.
What was your name again? Guy.
Just
Guy
call me.
Fieri. And they go and they're like, well, whatever. This looks like you just
Yeah,
mashed
this is like,
up.
what is this?
What is this even?
Wolf meat? Yes.
It's wolf meat
It's lime enema.
stuffed that I put lime juice in the wolf's butts for a week.
You
and
know-
then I slaughtered them.
Yeah,
and then I wrapped them in bacon and deep fried them.
You know the truck Gravedigger? Yeah, I cooked it on its
Engine block. And so they take
And I did the whole thing while chewing on a habanero pepper.
and they
and I did Ouija board with Julia Child's ghost.
and I think they take a bite and they're like, interesting, but
The
just
flavors
not
are conflicting. There's
Yeah.
something missing.
something's missing. And he goes, well, and he like takes off a smaller like
ramekin?
like a small ramekin, and it's like blinding this donkey sauce. And he goes, that's not the
It's like the
complete.
briefcase in Pulp
Yeah,
Fiction.
exactly what I was thinking.
And he's like, that's not the complete dish. If you will, please dump it.
Please, dump it.
So it's like they just dip it, their fingers get an itch, and they just like dump it in it.
If you would dump it in the donkey sauce.
Yeah.
It's a special creation of mine. I call it, and he looks over at Sauce the Donkey. Donkey sauce.
And then Donkey goes, fuck you.
Yeah, this is all I have.
I didn't release my image for this.
Yeah, this is the one thing I have in my life, and you're trying to fucking take it.
You've
Fuck
stolen my
you.
likeness.
And they love it. And they're like,
So they dip it, and they eat it, and you see their eyes just
yeah.
light up.
And you can't tell for a minute if their faces are going
Right.
to melt off or
Yeah.
not.
Right.
It's
Oh yeah, there's a
so,
second where they put it in their mouth, and they're like,
like he might have fucked up again.
Right.
and he has like all these flashbacks to his parents dying, and we once again see their faces melt, just to use the CG budget.
And right, and but they don't, and it just becomes these like giant smiles and tears rolling down their face. Like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever tasted. And they're just like pouring the compliments on him.
And Raj comes off the first place podium thing. He's like, let me taste that. And Raj bites into it.
And then he donks it first.
And then he
Oh, he definitely donks it.
he donks it in the donkey sauce. And then when he eats it, he goes, it can't be.
Yeah, and they say it together. Donkey sauce.
Yeah. And he goes, Wolfgang?
yeah, he knows just by the flavor.
Yeah.
Like Wolfgang is like, yeah, man, it's me.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't recognize you. He's like, well, that's because I'm Guy now.
Yeah. Guy Fieri. He's like, where'd you get Fieri from? He's like, Felix and Ariana matched together.
Yes.
Oh, Mark.
Oh,
Oh, you sneak, Mark.
and
Mark's been he's been just sort of sitting like somewhat quietly for a lot of the show, and I'm like, come on, Mark, but Jesus Christ, he laid a trap that we.
Oh, blessings of blessings. That was amazing.
That was the most just like diabolical joke drop.
beautiful. And okay, so go
I
ahead.
just the one thing is Raj just like, you look ridiculous. But you know what? I like this, but I feel like it's missing something. And Raj goes, I got it. And Raj dips his hand into like
Donks.
no, not the sauce. He dips his hand into a bowl of saffron that he was using for his dish.
Yeah.
Which
then
a
he,
bowl
like-
of saffron is worth
It's
tens
millions
of thousands of dollars.
It's tens of
It's a
thousands of dollars.
well-funded school.
And in a very loving gesture, he runs his hands through Guy's hair.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a sprinkling of magic sounds.
Yep, and it spikes up and turns yellow,
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful.
And he gets out a piping bag and frosts the tips.
And Raj touches Guy's face and goes, "You are now complete." And they're like, "This is amazing." But unfortunately,
Since you're not a student.
not a student here, you are not qualified to win this. Raj, like we said, get back on the podium. Congrats on winning. However, this shit's badass.
And then, all right, hold on. Bear with me on this.
Oh, good.
all right.
Guy's like, it's fine. He goes up on stage and he goes, I just want you all to know that I don't care if I win. Raj is so good at this. I just wanted to tell you how much this has meant to me. Before I came out as Guy, I was holding something back.
I am a Guy man.
I've been Guy this whole time.
And I think
I knew I was Guy when I was 10.
I kept all my kitchen utensils in the closet this whole time.
I was working in the closet as a chef before I knew I was Guy.
I don't care if anyone calls me a Fieri. I'm owning that now.
So he gives a very impassioned speech.
Yeah.
And everyone just starts slow clapping.
Mr. Hollandaise is there too.
Yeah.
The spirits of his parents, Star Wars style.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're proud of you now.
Yeah, we're coming to you from Flavortown. It exists.
Yeah. The great beyond exists. It's real.
Thank you for like respecting our names by incorporating them into your last name. That was brilliant.
That was crazy. No one saw it coming.
Then we
my
cut
God.
to 6 months later,
Nice.
and we're back at the same restaurant that we saw from his childhood.
Oh, my
And people were like, "Oh, order up,
Yeah.
no
MSG.
yeah, get this gluten out of here."
Two wolf poppers.
Yeah.
Extra donkey sauce.
And then we go to there's a little girl that's at a table with a big family. Things are really hectic, and she like crafts something and puts it on some food, and the parents are like, "Oh, get that out of here!" And then guy
Guy
steps
comes
in
to
and is
the
like,
table.
"Hold on a second, that's really good stuff, kid.
I'm gonna put that on my menu.
I'm gonna put that on my menu."
Oh, nice. And he goes, he turns and he goes, "Hey, Raj, come check this out." And Raj comes out. He's the head chef at Guy Fieri's Flavortown USA restaurant, the
Yeah.
first one ever. And Raj looks, he tastes it, and he just leads the little girl back into the kitchen, like, "Show me how you made that."
Yeah.
You know, like,
And the three of them.
And the parents are like, my baby.
you could just take an unattended minor into the kitchen of a restaurant
And the three of them drive off in a T-Bird.
with Highway to Hell play.
Yeah. You're our daughter now.
We're taking your child.
And we'll see you next time on Diamonds, Drivers, and Dives.
Black.
Tempered Steel.
Tempered steel.
The Guy Fieri story. It's the first time that's ever on the screen.
A young gay parable disguised as the Guy Fieri origin story.
Boy. Oh, boy. Freak yeah, what a treat.
That's the best one we've ever done. That's the best movie we've ever done. Fuck me.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep. Mark, thanks for being here with us.
That was so fun. That was fun. Thanks for having me off.
Yeah,
I'm,
guys.
like, hungry now.
Just look up Mark and check out whatever he does because it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
fucking
Oh.
golden.
Yeah, come to
Jesus
Dad's garage.
Christ.
Yeah, come out Dad's Garage if you're in Atlanta.
Ruben's just blank now.
Yeah, man. Every bisexual bone in my body is so happy about it.
There's like 200 something of them.
Right? It's a lot of them.
Jesus.
All right, guys. Well, hey, this is Your Welcome Hollywood.
I'm Tom.
I'm Ruben.
I'm Mark.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Donkey sauce.
Boom.
Goes the donkey sauce.
Boom goes the donkey sauce.
This has been Your Welcome Hollywood with Ed, Tom, and Ruben. For more, go to edtomandruben.com